What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Even though you could barely see them.
It does look empty.
Yeah, but wait, hold on.
Show the rest of the apartment.
It looks even empty.
Apartment tour.
Now that I'm leaving, I'll give you an apartment tour.
Yeah, now that I'm out of here.
Now I'm moving out. That's like people when they like the big influencers are like, now that I'm leaving this hotel, I'll tell you where this hotel is.
Now that I'm not there anymore, this is where.
Which I get why.
Yeah.
But yes, new
podcast studio for Casey coming soon.
Mm-hmm. My third one in.
Very exciting. The third one in show history.
We went from the basement,
with
no natural lighting, to this one, which was good while it lasted. Which was good. Made sense. To the new one, that'll be its own separate room.
Yes.
And stuff probably hanging up in the background, which thank God, it's about time.
Yeah,
I have so much stuff I've collected over the past few years. It's literally still sitting here. I can finally hang up this picture I bought at St. Pete. Not this year, the year before.
Yeah, that picture is so good too.
So, yeah.
I know. I'm getting to the point now too. We're like almost done painting the hallway, and I'm getting to the point where I want to paint this room because then I can add a fan and then put stuff back there too, and have it look nice, and also finish building my Legos so I can put them there. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. I also am excited because, there's no air conditioning unit in that room, but there is in other rooms, so I don't have to turn it off when we go to record because you won't hear it. But yes. Welcome to the show.
Well, now that you just had the personal life update of Casey and I, hello everyone. Welcome to episode number 116. I believe.
I think so.
I believe last week was 115.
116.
Underground circuit. As always, my name is Owen. That is my sister Casey. Thank you for joining us today for our wonderful show. We have a pretty busy episode today for you guys.
Jam-packed,
which is okay because we had last week was a shorter one. So this one's a little bit longer.
And next week we're not recording.
Yes, and next week we are taking a break. It is Casey's birthday week. We will not be recording, so we'll give you as much as we can before we leave. Why did my headphones just make the noise that they're going to die?
You're plugged in.
I'm with a headphone jack. This is bad. Why do you have the charger?
I'll give it this. You can look for a charger. I can give a disclaimer. People, it's storming outside where Owen and I live right now, so we'll hopefully make it through. I think we're near the end of the storm, but you may see me jump about 25 times. Comes to thunder and lightning. I hate thunder and lightning. But yeah, hopefully we don't have any technical difficulties. But like we said, it's a pretty busy show. He's back with his charger, but he can't hear me, so he doesn't know what I'm saying. I could be talking about him. He's going so slow. He's going so... Okay, he's back.
I think I'm back.
Crazy.
Kyle, if this is the episode art right here.
It looks like I don't even know what they look like. Could be like braids or something. You have like pigtails. It's just the fact that one's white. Like they're two different colors.
You know what's the funny part about this too? It's not even plugged into an outlet. It's plugged into my iPad. And it's charging my headphones.
Honestly, I've done that before. So when you can't get close to like a outlet.
They're charging. We're good.
Okay.
All right, so what disclaimer did you give?
I said it's storming out. You may see me jump about 25 times if it's thunder and lightning, but I do think it's near the end. If we were recording a few minutes ago, that lightning was intense, but yes, I think we'll make it through. But
I think we'll be okay. But there is a chance that I just drop from the call. So
wow, that snap was good.
Thank you.
No, like the first one, I think you went closer to your mic, so it was like, yeah.
It's probably gonna piss off anybody who's listening with headphones.
Yeah.
Sorry, anybody.
But yeah, we'll get started with our meme of the week. I technically have two, so I'll go first. So I'll change it, and then you can go second.
Okay.
But yes, my first one. This is from post-race interviews. Obviously, it's Ollie, and Yuki shows up to say sorry to Ollie, but you don't see Yuki right away because he's so damn small.
He's so fucking short.
I posted this and it like blew up. People were like, you don't realize how long it took me to find Yuki in the photo because I just didn't see him. So the best part of the video is he just literally, you don't even see him walk behind Ollie. He just like appears. And then that's all you see is his eyes. And he's just trying to apologize to Ollie after hitting him or making contact with him during the race. But yeah, that's my meme of the week. It's so funny. Yuki never changed.
That photo needs to be framed.
Yeah.
That's got to be a framed photo.
I also feel like because you don't normally ever, like, I feel like you always see Ollie with, like, Gabby Bortoletto was kind of taller. You always see Ollie with Ocon, who obviously is just as tall. So, like, seeing Yuki eyes only in the camera shot.
It's only, like, those moments with, like, tall and short people that, like, you realize how tall or short the other person is.
They are.
Like,
yeah, it's like we all know how short Yuki is, but in that moment, you really see how short he is. But yes, and then my second one, this is quick and easy. Literally, this was posted today. I don't know if anyone's seen those videos of the kid on. He's from another country. He's like on the boat and he's doing the dance. So this is Alex Albon doing the boat.
This I think genuinely was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Listen. It is a known fact that it is always the shittiest, quickest put together memes that are the funniest. So that's Alex throwing this together with like a shitty overlay green screen effect, and him doing it makes it 10 times better. It's so good. It's fantastic. I saw that and I genuinely started dying laughing. Like Anna's in the other room and came over and she was like, "What are you laughing at?" And I showed her it and she was dying. Like, well, it's also the fact that like he doesn't post on TikTok like ever. So it's like he finally remembered his TikTok username and password and goes in and then posts a gem of a video, which is like so literally good. Just like one hit wonder mentality. Yeah. Like, this is what you guys are getting. You're gonna love it, and that's it. Like, and people, it's just also like the video quality of him like matches the video quality of the video. So it's like both a little blurry. Doesn't really look like good quality. It's so funny. Robert Schwartzman did one too this week at I saw about 12 different POVs because I saw Robert Schwartzman's actual video. He did it standing in the cockpit of his car. Then I saw Callum Illott's POV of him filming it. I saw someone else post their POV. So good. But it's still like it didn't get annoying when you finally saw like Robert Schwartzman post it because it was still funny from every single POV. Which is, you know what's funny about this? The Callum Illott video is that's how I was introduced to that video. And I was like, so did I. I was like, I didn't know what he was doing. What is he doing? And then I kept scrolling, and then I came across the original video, and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, this is perfect. And then you have Alex Albon doing the full dance. Have you seen the other one of the kid doing the backflip off the boat? No. There's another one. It's the same, looks like same race, same culture, like doing the same thing. This kid does a full-on, like, gymnast floor routine backflip off of the boat, and the caption was like, "Oh, kid, like teammate sacrifices himself to like save weight and makes the boat like go faster." Sacrifices. And I was like, "What is this sport? Like, I need to know what it is." That's what we can talk about during summer break. We can research and watch more of this sport and talk about that during summer break. When God, it was so good. It was like cracking up about it. And then Alex Albon came out of nowhere, and I'm dying. Like, ugh. It's just his so good. It's also the glasses that he's wearing, Alex Albon. Right.
There's so many things.
Always the shitty, low quality memes that do the best, that are the best.
Yeah. Also, when you just said the caption said he sacrificed himself, I immediately heard Harry Potter in my head. No, you're sacrificing when they're playing chess.
With the chess match?
In the first one.
God.
But yes, that was my 2 memes a week. We're fully back. We're back, people. I haven't had 2 memes a week in a really long time.
Yeah, you really haven't. You haven't
no,
had
I
it
haven't.
for quite some time.
Moving on. Owen's meme of the week. I can see what it is.
There's no words. No words needed. No words needed. Well, I do have to explain it to our audio listeners. So Silverstone was jam-packed with celebrities.
Yeah, it was.
You had, I'm going to try to rip off a couple names right here.
Not even Silverstone. It was Ferrari's garage was jam-packed.
Ferrari's garage was jam-packed with celebrities, yeah. But in Ferrari's garage, you had Anna Taylor Joy? Anna Taylor-Joy, yeah. Mm-hmm. And she's wearing these, like, very skinny sunglasses and looks fine, looks normal. But somebody posted a picture of her and then the clip from Chicken Little.
Is that what that's from?
I think that's Chicken Little. And it's like when he they do like this little skit and they cut to where they're all like beefy and built like Space Rangers. And he's got skinny glasses on as well. And she looks dead the rights like him. And it is.
Well, yeah, because her hair is like so blonde, so it works perfectly. That's funny. No, they had a lot of people in the garage. I didn't realize she's good friends with Lewis. Did you delete both things when you hit end stop sharing screen?
I accidentally clicked leave studio instead of stop screen share.
I was like, I thought I did something at first. I was like, well, or I was like, he just lost power.
No. Fortunately not. No. Knock on wood before I say anything else, but still have power. Yes, that was. I'm super loud?
Yeah, I don't think you're coming through your mic.
Oh, I know why. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. You could tell I could hear you echoing in your room. Now that we did that technical difficulty, those were the memes of the week. But I do want to. I
me dropping off was the meme of the week.
Yeah, it was. Since we don't have weekly news to talk about, did you see the videos? Well, we were talking about the famous people that are at Silverstone. So obviously you had Liberatore, you had Vin Diesel in the Ferrari garage. You have the singer Ray, who's best friends with Lewis in their garage, and she performed at Silverstone. Tom Holland was there. He sat in the Williams car, which
loved it for a second. He had a blast.
He was freaking out. He had such a blast. Which I was disappointed because I really want a photo of Tom Holland and Kimi Antonelli next to each other because they look so alike. Yeah.
Make it happen.
Make it happen. If Tom Holland's little brother gets into acting, that's the perfect person to play Kimi Antonelli if you ever need a biopic.
He looks he's very close. I'm picturing him in my head, Tom Holland's younger brother, and
they're probably the same age, him and Kimi. You had Hannah Wingardum, who was from Rebecca from Ted Lasso.
That is not her last name.
What's her? It's Wing something.
Hannah Wingardum.
What's her last name?
It is Hannah Waddingham. What the fuck is going on with us tonight?
We can't be those crazy. We have a lot to talk about today. Yes.
Oh my god.
She was there, she was there last year. She sang the national anthem. I did forget about that. But the video of her with Martin on the grid walk. I love when Martin Brundle gets recognized and praised, and the celebrities are excited to talk to him on the grid walk because some celebrities could are so rude to him sometimes. But
honestly, when he went up to Hannah Waddingham in a split second where she looked at him, and before she started bowing and reacting to him, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be one of those other moments where Martin Brundle just gets blown off." It's just gonna be really weird and really awkward. And then she freaked out, which was awesome to see.
Yeah, she bows down, gives him a hug, and then starts spitting off. If we could get her as a guest, that'd be insane. She literally just starts speaking. He's like, "Oh, you're a legit fan," and she's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, she loves it. Yeah.
Yeah, she loves it. Well, that's what people were like, because Tom Holland was there with Williams, and then they asked him who he was rooting for, and Tom Holland is always going to root for Lewis Hamilton. There's been pictures of them hanging out, outside of the track, even when Tom Holland waved the flag in Monaco the year Esteban was on the podium, because I just always picture, I was like, Esteban's probably freaking out that Spider-Man's
waving the flag, yeah.
And they even asked him, he was technically there with Red Bull, and he's like, no, I'm here to support Lewis. Like, Tom Holland is a Lewis Hamilton fan.
Yeah.
That's going to be a loud one. I think it went right behind the lightning. I was waiting for it. But yeah, so there's a lot of celebrities. You can't even say Gordon Ramsay is a celebrity because he's there all the damn time. So.
I know, yeah. Well, that's like him and Terry Crews. Terry Crews is a big F1 fan as well. But you have two. Come on, you missed the biggest one. You have Jeremy Clarkson.
Yes, true.
And from Top Gear, and you have Caleb from Clarkson's Farm. Come on.
Did you see Oscar's Instagram post?
Yes, they met. Yes.
With Caleb.
Yes. I love it. I also, did you see the whole thing with Jeremy Clarkson about like what he said? So Martin asked Jeremy Clarkson, who are you here for? Who are you rooting for today? And it's like in the car community, people are chatting about this all over the place, because he literally answers, he's like, oh, like, I like everybody, so I'm rooting for everyone except for 3 drivers. And people are like, who are the 3 drivers?
3 drivers? No, I need to know.
Who do we think the 3 drivers are that Jeremy Clarkson does not like? And he literally was like, I like everybody, so I'm rooting for everyone except for 3 drivers.
Damn, now I want to know what drivers that he doesn't like.
That's what I want to know so bad.
It's probably like the way he's not openly, well, he's never going to openly say it, but like, it's probably ones that are well liked. Which is wild to think.
Yeah.
Because he was the one, when Pierre got on the podium, or when Esteban got on the podium after Monaco, he like promised he would bring them stuff to the factory, remember? At Alpine?
Yes.
That's wild. Now I'm trying to
think.
So
he said, all right, so here's a direct quote. So Martin says, like, hey, like, who are you rooting for? And he said, honestly, I don't think anyone could predict today. Wet start, probably won't rain afterwards. I mean, they're so close, aren't they? And there's 20 drivers on the grid, and I like 17 of them. So I don't really mind who wins.
No, now I got to know who he doesn't like.
Apparently, and then Martin Brundle followed it up with, I'm not going to ask who are the 3 you don't like.
Yeah. Martin was like, I'm going to keep my job.
He said he's literally like, he laughed and then was like, I'm not going to ask who the 3 you are that you don't like.
That's wild. That's ballsy to even just say, I am a fan
That's
of
his
17.
whole personality.
Yeah.
Jeremy Clarkson. He's also known for that now. So it's like, even if it was his like base personality, like through Top Gear and through the Grand Tour and like through all of his shows, he's gotten this reputation of just like, he can just say whatever the fuck he wants and he's good. You know, like it's gotten him in some trouble with people, but he says whatever the fuck he wants. He doesn't care. You know.
I like it. But yeah, there was a lot of people. Keanu Reeves was also there.
Keanu Reeves was there, that's kind of news. He's doing the Cadillac documentary.
Yeah, there's gonna be a documentary on Cadillac, which the documentary he did with
Braun.
What's it called? Braun was really good. So
very good.
I know the Cadillac one's gonna be good. And I know people are like, well, why are they doing one on Cadillac, this and that? Because it's another US team coming to F1.
Yeah.
And it's a new team, not just like a rebrand of a team. It's a new team with 2 drivers on the grid the first time in a very long time. So like it makes sense.
Yeah, it's not like Stake becoming Audi. Yeah. You know, it's a brand new team. Like so yeah, I can understand why there's a documentary coming. I actually would really be interested in that, to learn the whole process of how they did it and how the process went to get to be the 11th team on the grid. You know?
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, it's in good hands. The Braun one is really good, so I'm not expecting it to be a good one, but yes, that was kind of the grid walk recap and the celebrities. But we will move on to Pints and Pit Stops. Which one you want to do? Indy first.
Let's do Indy first.
A little more.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you.
You're asking me.
So Pints and Pit Stops. I have a Poppy today. That's the pint I have. Owen said he has Sprite. Nothing good. But I'm asking Owen 5 questions. Obviously, if you've been here, I'm going to time him. That's the calculator app. I do not need that app.
That's the calculator app.
5 questions. Every question he gets right, he loses a second. Every question he gets wrong, he adds a second. So I'm asking Owen all about Mid-Ohio IndyCar. Are you ready?
Yes, which I literally just finished watching the recap of before we started, so I should be okay. But my brain just likes to forget everything the moment somebody asks me a pressure question. So
okay, you ready?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
I'll start the timer after the first question. Who was out in lap 1, turn 1?
Joseph Newgarden.
What strategy did Dixon go for?
2 stops.
What happened to Simpson in the pit lane?
He ran over somebody's foot.
Who was Palou stuck behind for a while? Near the end.
Colton Herta.
How many seasons has Scott Dixon had a win in Indy? Consecutive
21.
season. 21-85. You did pretty well. You only got 1 wrong.
That last one threw me for a loop. That second to last one threw me for a loop, the Palou one.
Because it's a back marker. So that's why I threw it in there. But it was near the end.
Back marker. Is it?
Well, I'll tell you.
I don't
know.
Yeah.
Obviously, first question. Did you get your time?
21:85.
Yes. Who was out in lap 1 turn 1? Newgarden, correct. What strategy did Dixon go for? Correct. 2 stop. What happened to Simpson in the pit lane? I have something different, but I will give you this. I put he stalled, but you said he ran over someone else's foot, so I'm giving you that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I could have. Yeah, I'll take either one because obviously that also happened in the pit lane. Who was Palou stuck behind for a while? It was Stingray Robb.
Oh my God! Yes, I remember that now. Because I remember literally thinking about it too when I was watching the recap, being like, "Who did he just pass?" I feel like Casey's gonna ask that. Like, who did he just have this little battle with to get up again?
Stingray Robb.
Right.
And then how many seasons has Scott Dixon had a win in Indy consecutive? 21, which is absolutely wild to say. I think
nuts.
So you got 4 right, 1 wrong.
So gross time 21:85 with 4 questions right, 1 question wrong. My net time is an 18:85. That is my new fastest time. So between the two of us now, there's only 3 seconds separating our 2 fastest times.
Oh, we're back, people.
Yeah. And my average time now drops to a 25:80, and your average time is a 22:88. So we're kind of both 3 seconds between fastest and average times.
I wanted to bring this up because they said it. I don't know if they said it after the race or I saw it on social media. So obviously the last question, Scott Dixon has won a race in 21 consecutive seasons. He's always won one. That's honestly a wild stat to think of. But when you go back, his teammate, Kiffin Simpson, is only 20 years old. So he's winning a race in more seasons than Kiffin Simpson's been alive for. So
that's crazy. That to me is like a crazier stat than like the sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. That to me is like a crazier stat than Fernando Alonso like being alive and racing while like Kimi Antonelli's been born. It was like being born. You know, like the fact that Scott Dixon's had a win in 21
every single season
straight.
So, yeah,
literally, as
Kiffin Simpson was born in 2004.
Alive.
Yeah.
That's is
wild.
Disgusting.
And that's his teammate.
Yeah, that's gross.
And then like what's wild is the fact that Scott Dixon doesn't even look that old.
He does not.
He does not look that old at all. But yes, that was Pints and Pit Stops for Mid-Ohio.
Midfield, Ohio.
Midfield, Ohio. But we will now recap Mid-Ohio, which was a good, obviously chaotic start.
Yeah, so I guess should we start there? Because like that
because
is like pretty much
can't catch a break.
Penske cannot catch a break, and the fact that it's both Joseph Newgarden and Will Power were out from that incident.
Well, I think Will tried continuing, but
did he?
Yeah, he wasn't out right away. When you watch like the thing when they keep going after the caution, he's still in, and then he's out a little bit later.
Oh. Huh.
So
okay.
He was in, but
still. Like, outcome, how and when he went out aside, I mean, your outcome is he's still out of the race. And, like, even for, like, I have to admire Joseph Newgarden a little bit for this, too, because, like, he did that, like, interview in the middle of the race, like, asking, like, hey, like, what went wrong, you know, all this stuff. And he straight up was like, I seriously think I just had a random weird, like, lockup. Like,
yeah, because they show the recap, and even, like, Townsend Bell and stuff are like, I don't even know what happened to him. Like,
yeah.
He just lost the rear.
And they said it, too, in the coverage. I forget who says it. I think it's Townsend. He's literally like, Joseph even came over the radio and was like, that was really weird. Like,
yeah, it was weird.
What happened? Like, but I have to give him props for it because, like, it's easy to, like, kind of get caught up in that moment and just be like, you know, I'm so mad I'm out of this race, especially with all the bad luck that Penske's been having lately.
Yeah.
But, like, I have to give it to Newgarden kind of just because he was straight up like, I don't know. Like, he's like, I genuinely don't know what happened. I think it was just a really bad rear lockup. Yeah. And then even so, they were like, I forget the woman's name who was interviewing him. I can't remember it. But she was like, how do you move on from this? And he was like, just go to the next one. Like, he really seemed like at peace and was like, okay with like, yep, that was a one-off random thing. And it sucks that it happened, but you go to the next one. You know, like, that's it.
No, I was actually going to bring up the same point because you can have people that, like, you can have some of them give their interviews afterwards and they're, like, pissed. Like, like, you can totally tell they're annoyed. They're trying not to take it out on the reporters, but, like, they're just answering the questions.
You can tell they're angry,
pissed, they're very angry. Joseph Newgarden has such a good head on his shoulders that he knows they're also doing a job. I feel like that's how you can tell that's coming across. They know they have to do a job as well. They're going to have to ask the questions. But, yeah, his mindset being, like, we just forget because him specifically, the luck since the Indy 500 has not been good.
Not been there.
No. But I just looked. So Will Power went out on lap 11. So
okay. Continue. All right. Yeah. So he continued for a good bit afterwards too.
But he did continue. Well, I think the caution was obviously lap 1. I think it ended lap 6. So he only had a few laps of full running. But he did get caught in the crossfire with Newgarden. I'm shocked Newgarden didn't take more people out because he went from the inside, spun completely to the outside across the grass, and he only took out we didn't take out fully anyone at that time. Is that when Graham Rahal was on the grass? But he was like yelling at them to restart.
Which kind of going off of your point with Joseph going from the inside of the track to the outside of it, like and just like cutting straight across Graham Rahal. Graham Rahal only had a front wing damage. Like he could have full on T-boned into the side of Joseph Newgarden's car. And all he came out with was a bent front wing. And he
finished the race.
Yeah. And like you said, you can see him stick his hand out of the cockpit and like wave over the safety team being like, hey, get me off of this dirt. I can still
let me keep going.
Yeah.
He was a lap down, but he finished the race. But yeah, him and then Scotty Mack was also a lap down. So you have the 3 Penske drivers.
Yeah.
2 not even finishing the race. 1 out lap 1, literally like turn 3 or 4. And then Scott McLaughlin a lap down. Yeah, they can't. I know it's a joke, but someone give up the voodoo doll. I think they've taken enough. I think they've taken enough. What's it called? Punishment for some crimes that they may have done. But yeah, moving on. Oh, I was gonna include this in question with Pints Pit Stops, but they didn't say it in the 30-minute recap for the race. But Christian Rasmussen just ran out of fuel. That's why he didn't finish the race.
Oh, you know what? I was wondering that.
Yeah.
Because you know what was weird about the recap? They flashed to Christian Rasmussen for a split second, and you see him on the grass, and I'm like, oh, that's going to be a caution flag. That's going to that's going to bring out safety car, like all this stuff. And then they never go back to him. And then race keeps going. And then it's, oh, there's Christian Rasmussen again, like in the same part of the track. And I'm like, what? Why did we just like briefly show that and then like flash back to it again? Like,
I think they said it because I came home after we watched Silverstone at the arcade and I turned it on right as the first caution was like on lap 6 when everything was starting again.
Yeah.
So they said it during that, but then Christian Rasmussen is hilarious to follow on TikTok. He's unhinged. He's hilarious. But
Right.
he literally posted something like being funny and being like, "You were running a good race, and then you just run out of gas."
I mean,
honestly though, that's not a good look for. They've been doing that a lot recently at Carpenter because Rossi just ran out of gas recently too. So
yeah, I mean that's not the best. Like,
Mm-mm.
if you never want a driver to not be able to finish a race, but like that's the least amount of a reason to like you don't. That's the last reason you want for a driver to not finish the race because that just indicates a screw up in strategy or screw up in pit stops.
Yeah,
you know, like, but yeah, I mean, weird out for Christian, but I mean, yeah, like I said, the recap is odd because it just like jumped back and forth. Like, it's literally like him, race, and then I think back to him one more time, and then like, then they were like, all right, Christian Rasmussen's out of the race, and I'm like, oh, okay, like,
yeah.
I guess after you've shown him 2 other times already, like,
I was going to include it because I remember seeing, like, I was going to include that as a question, and then I was watching, and I was like, oh, they didn't say it. I was like, he'll definitely get it wrong, so I just deleted it. I was like,
I thought something was wrong.
I would have, no, he just ran out of fuel. But yeah. I do want to talk about. I just pulled it up because I needed to double check. It was Frucci and Daly. Now everyone loves Frucci. He can be a little elbows out, but he was given a 3-position penalty for avoidable contact. Now when you watch the replay, he literally just pushes Connor Daly off into the grass, which pushes him off into the grass as well. Like,
yeah, I remember seeing this. Yeah.
Yeah, which. Connor Daly literally retweeted and said this clown literally drove himself off track trying to make sure he wrecked me. Tagged Santino Ferrucci and said, brilliant as always, with the crying laughing emoji. This is what I love about IndyCar. They just take everything to social media.
I fucking love it.
They literally take everything to social media. It's like the fact. Well, Connor Daly also has a podcast. People were like, I can't wait for this week's episode.
Oh, yeah.
Go off. But yeah, no, that was a risky move from Santino Ferrucci. He definitely does a lot where I'm like, did you need to do that?
He has, you know what it is too? He already has that reputation as just like everything he kind of does, people just kind of assume like negative intent with it. And it's like not without reason. He's been an asshole sometimes, you know. It's like, all right, whatever. But yeah, for him to do that, I remember seeing that on the replay, and I was like, "What in the hell is going on?" And like, I'm always the person that's like assuming, like, giving everybody the benefit of the doubt. So I'm like, "Oh, that was weird." And then it's like hearing you say now, like, I didn't know about Connor Daly's like tweet. But that is hilarious. That Connor Daly was like, "Yeah, pretty much like fuck you." Well, you like literally you did this, you know. So. Yeah, not the best look for Santino, but then again, he hasn't always had the best looks. I mean, he was the one. Was it last season? He got in
with Kyle Kirkwood.
Yeah,
it wasn't like a full fist fight, but he literally marched himself over. I mean, he's a tiny person. It
was like a shoving
himself
match.
over and like shoved Kyle Kirkwood, and I think Colton Herta got involved as well. Yeah, it was he has some moments, but. Will Power had a moment this weekend. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was Will Power and Alex Palou, and he comes right up to Alex Palou, I think during qualifying or practice. Like, Palou like came out and just didn't get out of his way. And it's Will Power. We know what he'll do. We saw him pick up Kyle Kirkwood and drive him. So he like comes over and like gets in Alex Palou's face. Alex Palou is cool as a cucumber, like, okay. Like, literally, when Will Power walks away, Palou turns to his picture and is like, what
the fuck was that?
Yeah. But the next day, it was definitely Friday, because the next day on Saturday, there's a clip where Will Power comes walking over to, like, behind the pit stand for Alex Palou, and he's like this. He's like, you want to go? And Alex Palou pretends to, like, and they're both cracking up. But, like, that's what people are like, yeah, so you know the grid is so, like, functional because they can beef like that and then like crack a joke and be like, yeah, you want to go?
And then the next day, laugh about it
be
and
totally
have fun. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think. Let me pull up the.
Can I talk about, speaking of Alex Palou, not the whole like Scott Dixon and him battle at the end there? I just want to mention this. His car being the all black
it was so nice
livery looked so good. I literally was thinking it was like that looks like the Batmobile, and like it looked even better because it was like it was a matte finish too. Like it wasn't like the shiny semi-gloss that you see on most liveries, and it was this matte finish. And I was like, oh, that looks so good. Like
and like the blue on it too was like a darker blue, so it did look almost fully black. But it took me so long to be like, that's Alex Palou, because normally he has a bright yellow and red car on track, and I was like, no, that's Alex Palou. That's Alex Palou.
That's the thing. That was Joseph Newgarden two races ago or something like that. He normally has his PPG blue car, which he had this race, so it was easy. I love his livery. I think it looks great. And then I think last week or 2 weekends ago, he had like a red livery, and I was like,
yes, he did.
Where the fuck is the red coming from? Like, it just like threw me off for a second. I was like, oh my god, like it's just so funny because it's like when you see in F1, like they change up the liveries, like it's a big deal. Like it's like it's a massive thing. It's teased for days on social media. It's like this big launch event. Hey, we're doing a new livery. Look at us, all this stuff. IndyCar, I don't follow as many of the IndyCar teams as I do the F1 stuff on social media. So like it might be that way, but like it feels like sometimes with IndyCar liveries, it's literally just like, oh yeah, we're going from blue to red. Have fun.
No, it's really not, because it always has to deal with us like a certain sponsor, like a different sponsor or whatever. I feel like the biggest one I've seen was Alex Palou and the Red Solo Cup, because it's Red Solo Cup, so it's like so iconic, and that's what they were changing it to. But like they normally just throw a picture up on social media, but then that's why like the spotter guides come out before every single race, because so many of them change up their liveries for every single race. I think the only team that does something pretty big when they're changing the livery is McLaren, which rightfully so. It's normally tied in with whatever F1 or Formula E is doing as well. It always normally kind of makes sense for them.
Some like historic McLaren thing that they're doing.
Like, Indy 500, Indy 500, they started teasing the all-white liveries pretty early on, because they changed the profile picture. They were like posting teasers and stuff. So they are definitely probably the only team. Well, they're also the only team where their liveries all match. So like they can do the big team.
Yeah, the big team propaganda, but like, reveal and PR and everything.
Marketing stuff. I'm thinking a team in the future that could also go like that is going to be Prema, because they also have identical cars.
Yes.
So, like I can see them being able to do big things like that. But yeah, I mean, normally it's just like here you go, and like move on. Well, because like Felix Rosenqvist has a different livery every single weekend, because it's Sirius XM, so it's always a different Sirius XM channel.
Yeah, which honestly, genius move by Sirius.
No, I love it.
Genius move.
Last year when I just went to St. Pete, it was the Bon Jovi one, and then like it was like Shinedown earlier this year. I think there was a Creed one. It's always something.
Was it Black Sabbath this weekend? I feel like it was, because I remember seeing a shot of his rear wing and it looked like it said Black Sabbath on it.
Maybe I'll see if I can find it. But yeah, speaking of Alex Palou, we finally obviously got a different winner. There's another winner. It's not Kyle Kirkwood, and it's not it's not Alex Palou, but it's still Chip Ganassi, so it's Scott Dixon. But everyone loves Scott Dixon, so I'm okay with that.
No, that's it. You know what? It feels like F1 and IndyCar this past weekend had the same sort of like winners in it, where it's like Scott Dixon won his race and Nico Hulkenberg gets on the podium. It's just those like feel good guys that just like everybody loves, and when they win or when they succeed, everybody's like, yep, we all enjoy that. Like,
sorry, Felix Rosenqvist was Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne. So what? It was Black Sabbath.
Well, it just says Ozzy Osbourne on the.
Oh. Wait.
Well, wasn't it?
Is Ozzy Osbourne? Ozzy Osbourne Black Sabbath.
Didn't Ozzy Osbourne perform like his last show this weekend?
If Dad listens to this, he's gonna kill me.
I'll continue though. But while you search it up.
Black Sabbath. Yeah, I was right. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I think there's a picture on it, so that's what it could be, but it does just say Ozzy Osbourne. Alex Palou, though, has two costly mistakes. The one at the end,
yes,
he rents completely wide, and that's when Scott Dixon was like, okay, and just took over.
Just swoops in. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do like Scott Dixon was going in doing the two-stop. Alex Palou didn't think he could do the two. They didn't think it was correct. Kiffin Simpson also was going for the two-stop, but then I think they said halfway through the race, they came over Alex Palou's radio being like, "No, it's working. Like you can do the two-stop.
You can
it's
do
fine. It's working." Scott Dixon just knows how to he knows how to control his tires. I mean, he's been in the IndyCar for who knows. I mean, at least 21 seasons. But then the way he can save the fuel, they always talk about him saving the fuel and how he's the best one to do it. But yeah, that battle at the end was pretty damn good.
Honestly, the whole sequence at the end was a Scott Dixon managing a situation masterclass. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do when, especially this season, when you have Alex Palou chasing you. And it is the fact that he was able to pull that off, and it felt like there was never any sort of nervousness or panic or oh, he's going a little too fast into this corner. He had a little bit of understeer, but he saved it. And none of that. It was just a clean, just straight up, I'm good. I'm going to win this race. Thank you, Alex Palou, for handing me that win. You hate to see it happen, especially because we're teammates. But thank you. It's, I mean, just a beautiful battle at the end there, too, especially.
It was even the last two laps. I think the second to last lap, you had Alex Palou try going, on the inside or something, and Scott Dixon defended. And then they come back around the last lap, and Scott Dixon, knew what Alex Palou was trying to do, and did exactly what he did.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It was very good. It was clean teammate versus teammate racing, but it was damn good teammate versus teammate racing.
Which is you have to wonder if after that, Scott Dixon's going up to Alex Palou and being like, dude, thank you for giving me a great battle. If that was me, I'd be like, oh my God, yes, this is exactly what I want. I still won the race selfishly, but you gave me a great fight and you came charging back. That's great.
I think Alex Palou posted saying thank you to great race to Scott Dixon or whatever, but that's the kind of racing you want to see. That was damn good racing. Your fave was back on the podium.
My fave was back on the podium. I was happy to see Christian Lundgaard get back up there not even on in a podium sense, but just back up to the front of the field. We know he can do it. He's just had kind of a couple shitty races, which it happens. You hit a low streak. So I'm happy that he was kind of able just to bounce back, get up there, get onto the podium. Like I said, not strictly in a podium sense, but get back up there in terms of a top 5 finish. It's cool. Build that confidence back up. Go in the next weekend I got 2 chances to get better.
No, I was excited for him. I was also excited for, Nolan Siegel ended in 11th, but he qualified 4th.
I was going to say, isn't it 4th or 5th that he started in?
He qualified 4th, Christian Lundgaard was 2nd. So, Pato's the one that had a shitty qualifying. He started 14th.
Yeah.
But, just for Nolan Siegel, because he has had bad luck recently and stuff, I feel like maybe the confidence is down. So, for him to have a good qualifying, I'm happy to see that he had a good qualifying. So
I don't know. He's a villain. I don't like him.
No.
He's a villain.
He's a villain. But yes, I did a sort of timer. I'm just realizing for when we started talking.
That's all right. I don't know how much more there is really to talk about. I mean, it was kind of the big highlights of the race were Joseph Newgarden at the start, and the Alex Palou Scott Dixon battle at the end.
Yeah.
There was other things happening within there and whatnot. There were definitely smaller battles and good things to look out for, but those being the biggest things, I definitely think they are. And, it's exciting to see another race winner, but it's crazy that we're talking about a race winner and it's or a different race winner. And it's well, Alex Palou was right there. Alex Palou was literally
right there.
Yeah.
And it's not it's hurting his championship.
Right.
Which I do want to see, though, because Pato finished ahead of Kirkwood, so that might have flipped the. I don't know how. Oh, yeah, here we go. Alex Blow is 430 points. Kirkwood is down by 113. Pato is down by 125. So.
Pato's down by 125.
I don't like how they post it like that.
Down by 113.
Kirkwood's 113. Pato's 125.
Oh, okay. All right. So there's 12 points separating the two of them.
Yeah. And then Scott Dixon's in fourth at 148. Like, down by 148.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. No. It's pretty damn good.
I like it.
But yes, that was Mid-Ohio. We'll give some predictions in a little bit because this week's a doubleheader for Iowa, which is an oval. So, yeah.
Give me an oval race again. I miss them.
Pints and Pit Stops, back to it. I'm actually nervous for this one. I feel like so much has happened. I don't know what you're gonna talk about.
I'm actually.
What you're gonna ask?
No, that's
I can do the 5 at DNF.
That's not the right folder, Owen. This is the right folder. All right. So since we were concerned about the power, my phone is over there charging. So I will be timing Casey on my iPad. But for her question, I will be stealing an idea that she gave me. So she should know this.
I'm nervous.
Kate, so I'll start the timer once, like, same thing. I'm going to start the timer once I read the question.
Okay.
You should know it. You should know it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Name the 5 drivers who DNF'd.
Oh, okay. You have Franco, Liam Lawson, Gabby Bortoletto, Isaac Hadjar, and Kimi Antonelli.
Done. Holy fuck. You got that in 19 seconds. 8.19 seconds. I knew either that...
Did I get it in the right order, though?
You got it in the order that I wrote it as well. It is literally, you just went up the row. Or up the column.
It was all the rookies except for Ollie, so...
All right, so this is gonna bring your time collapsing.
No, just give me the 8 seconds. That's fine. You don't have to give me a second every time I get right. It's gonna be literally like 1 second. Don't give me 8 seconds.
That's fair. So yes, Casey got every single one of them right. A lot of rookies out.
No, all the rookies out
of this race. All the rookies out of this race, which is tough to see, but is. I don't want to say like understandable for it being a wet race in Silverstone, but you said it during the race, Casey, and it felt like the first proper wet race that we had this year.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a full wet race. Like, it stopped raining at the end.
Like this felt like the race that like Drive to Survive throws in their season as like the obligatory. We have to show one race that had rain on it during the season. You know. That's what that. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it's Silverstone and the running joke is that it just is always raining in England.
Always rains. Yeah.
You know, I don't know what it was, but yes, we kind of officially the first wet race of the season.
Well, because that was like before. I think it was after qualifying. They were interviewing Lewis, and he was like, well, this would only be the second race I've had technically kind of in the rain. He's like, so I don't really know what to expect. And I'm like, what was even the first race in the rain? Australia?
I can't remember, but it has to be, right? Because it was raining on the formation lap and Isaac slipped out, right?
No, he didn't. I want to Google it because now I literally was like, what?
I don't remember another rainy race. I don't know what it is. It wasn't Canada. It's not Monaco.
It wasn't Canada. I was there.
Was it Miami?
Yeah, it was. Oh, no.
Was it?
Now I'm going to go in the order. I'm just going to look down at the schedule. Okay. I'm thinking it wasn't China. Was it Japan?
Was it Japan?
No, it was Australia because that was the one because Oscar lost and then he went on a tear the next few races.
Yes, because there's the video clip of him sliding into the grass.
Yeah.
And then he breaks out and everybody starts screaming. Both. Yes, I remember now.
Yes, because then he won China, third in Japan, and then won Bahrain, Jeddah, Miami.
Right.
Like boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
So even more to our point, this that's tough to call Australia the first rain race because it's it's the start of the season and then it's one race and then you go 11 races before you get another wet race, which is
because I'm not counting the sprint in Miami as a wet race because it was raining before the race. It didn't rain during the race.
During the race. This was
with the Miami race
during the race. Yeah. It was hard, good rain during the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hey, we have rain coming in 5 minutes and we expect it to last 20. And it's yeah, sure, okay,
No, to the point where you couldn't see. I mean, I was watching the recap before we started, and when Isaac literally just does not see the car in front of him. That car comes out of nowhere. When they show his onboard camera, you blink and next thing you know, there's brake lights in front of him, and then he rear-ends someone and he goes off. But yeah, no, it was a proper rain race. Which when you think rain in Silverstone, well, when you think of rain race, I think of one person, two people, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton.
Yep.
You think of a rain race in Silverstone, and I think of Lewis Hamilton. Both just didn't. Well, we can get into it later, but if Max is having trouble in a rain race in that car, that's how you know that car sucks.
There is So this race, we'll start with Red Bull just because we're kind of segueing into it, but this race really kind of proved that there is something fundamentally wrong.
Yep.
Either at Red Bull or with that car.
Yep.
And I know we've kind of been saying this for weeks now, and every race I feel like we're kind of oh, something's not right, but it's always felt like here's one incident and then that's it. It's if Max, the kid who literally would stay out on the go-kart course when everybody would go inside when it was raining and loves driving in the rain, makes a mistake, messes up in the rain and slips and slides, it's damn, okay, there's something going on. I will say this though, Red Bull should have listened to him because Max did come over the radio.
Red Bull should have listened to him.
Hey, if it rains more, I need to come in for new winters because these ones are shit. These ones are terrible.
And they
did not bring him in.
No.
So, yes, Red Bull should have listened to him. But I think that Silverstone race is a larger is a microcosm for the season of Red Bull. So
Red Bull, yeah. This is the first truly awful weekend for VCAR. Obviously, both DNF'd.
Yes.
Liam, Liam was on lap 1, literally turn 1. He kind of looked like he kept going, and then he had to pull off on the side of the road. And I don't know if I didn't notice it when we were watching at the arcade, but his floor was jacked up.
Yeah, it was messed up.
When he pulls into the grass, even DC's no, look at his floor.
Yeah.
Look at his floor.
It was definitely screwed up.
Yeah. You obviously have Franco, who doesn't even make it out of the pit lane. He's a DNS, technically. So I think the official thing was he just got stuck in second gear and they couldn't get him out. So he just I saw someone put this may be far-fetched, but it's did they see it was raining and they're just no, just come back. We don't feel like fixing the car.
Yeah, don't do anything.
Yeah. But yeah, so obviously we talked about this before, but Franco has been on a race-by-race basis. So obviously there's 2 weeks now before Spa, so I guess we'll see what happens. There's pretty major rumors about Bottas going over to Alpine.
Yeah, what's funny about that too? I didn't know about that until we were at the arcade and you had said something, and then it was all over my feed, all over my Threads feed of just people just being I'm hearing major rumors Bottas is gonna go to Alpine this season.
It said Flavio got on the phone, called Toto, and was can we use Valtteri Bottas? I mean, Valtteri was on post-quali or post-FP3 the other day with F1 TV, which I was like, this is amazing. Put him on the TV all the time because he was like talking about that. He gave such great insight. Obviously, yes, he's been driving the F1 car for seasons on seasons, so like he knows so much. But like just to hear someone, it's different than when they had like Oscar come on and Ali come on when they were reserve drivers. Like they kind of knew what, like, but like. Especially the Mercedes, Valtteri Bottas knows exactly what's going on in that car. He can give good insight. But Laura Winter's like, I know you're not gonna be able to tell me anything, but can I just have to ask, like, what's going on? Are you going Cadillac? Are you gonna go to Alpine? But if we get Valtteri Bottas back in the car, I think you'll hear me cheering.
Oh, I'll be thrilled. I'll be so excited.
I'll literally be thrilled. But yes, great race for Pierre. He finished P6, another great one. Someone said Pierre does the most with nothing, and I think that's the perfect way to describe Pierre Gasly.
He really in that Alpine. That is really good. Mm-hmm. That is a very good, just like analogy to describe how he's been using that Alpine so far this year.
Especially the past few races, he's been killing it. But I mean, obviously, once on the race start after the formation lap, you had Charles, George, Lance, I think, as well.
Oh my god, yeah. I remember like thinking about this too because I thought it was going to be on the quiz at the end of the thing.
Yeah. I know at least George and Charles because when I was watching the recap, Jolyon Palmer literally goes, "Oh, great! This was smart from them. This is going to pay off." And I was like, "Well, that aged well."
Yeah,
that aged so bad. But they so obviously not everyone was on the starting grid, but Pierre jumped so many positions on the first lap. He was up a ton. But yeah, so great from Pierre. You know who I'm very surprised about this entire weekend because the conditions were perfect for them? Mercedes.
Yeah, it was I'm happy you bring that up because I thought the same thing. Going into the race, I never really said it out loud or like thought of it, but like in the back of my head was like, okay, it's Silverstone. It's cold. It's wet. Mm-hmm. That's a Mercedes race. Like, okay. Like, great. But
we're like, I was like, George is going to win. He's going to be on the podium.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, it's just...
it's not that the car, I don't think, was good for them. They were just like Ferrari in that aspect. Their strategy just sucked this entire race weekend. I mean, they got it wrong. George literally came over the radio as it started raining more, and he was like, "It's raining, brilliant," because they just brought him in for an extra one. And then he was the first to go on to slicks, and he immediately goes onto the track and runs
right off. Yeah,
yeah.
So some nice little barely, twirls and everything. But I love too the before that when he's like before he's coming into the pit, he talks to forget his race engineer's radio, but they were like, how brave do we want to be? Or like how, exciting. And they're like, we want to be brave, but we don't want to be suicidal. And then he comes in, puts on the slicks and then flies off the track. And it's like, you may have made the call like a little too early.
A little too early.
But
yeah, no, I think they just, I think, is it him running over the grass and they cut to Toto and Toto's like,
Toto literally... Toto just like puts his head down for a second and then like comes back up and you can just see the like look of annoyance on his face. He's like, come on.
Wearing that damn hat. I can't stand that.
The hats are hilarious to me. The hats are so funny.
Thank God Kimmy never wore it because I think if Kimmy was wearing it, I would not be able to take him seriously. Now George and Toto, yes, I can totally see them wearing it. George especially because he gives off old English.
Oh my God, yeah. That is prime like I'm going to go play an old English golf course with my sweater vest and my straight, like, khakis on, and then you're wearing that hat. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, George and Toto can pull it off. Kimmy, it would have looked really weird on Kimmy, because that's also, like, that hat's not his generation, and it's
and it doesn't work for his hair, too. I think his hair would have looked stupid. It's like
his hair would look funky.
It's like when someone with curlier hair has to put like a graduation cap on. I feel like that's what it would have looked like. It would have looked so off. But yeah, obviously not a great weekend for Mercedes. Williams finally didn't both DNF. Give them that.
Yes, they actually did Okay.
Okay.
Did they score points?
Yeah, Alex did 4.
Okay. All right. So points.
Carlos was 12.
It's your home race.
Mm-hmm.
You have Tom Holland in your garage. What's more?
Yeah.
What else is there to say? You had a pretty decent weekend for Williams.
I did love both of their helmets, though. They were good.
Yeah,
helmets.
their helmets were really nice. I think getting 4 points and surviving the weekend is great, considering last weekend is when we saw James Vowles with the kind of Toto-esque shot of him just like head in his hands. He's just like, fuck this. Like, that's it.
It's when you have how many DNFs in a row for Alex, and then Carlos as well last week. I'm happy. I'm happy they survived and don't have to make any repairs. Aston Martin. Well, no, we'll go to Haas first. They both were out of the points. We just have to talk about their synchronization spin move. That was beautiful.
Yeah. Which, like, fucked themselves over.
It did. No, it truly did.
They made contact with each other, so it's like they screwed each other up, but they also, they had a really cool moment where they both spun in the exact same manner, and at the exact same time. No, they
spun at the exact same time, literally stopped, turned around, and got back on track. Like,
and kept going.
Perfect. And kept going. You can't really say much about them other than that the pig that kept following Ollie around. Did you see that?
Yeah, what the fuck was up with that?
I think it's like a TV show or something in the UK, but I do have to say we never saw the character and Esteban at the same time.
Oh.
Someone posted it, and now I haven't stopped thinking about it. Being like, we haven't seen Esteban and the pig ever in the same room.
That's good. That's good. That would be funny as shit if Haas actually did that. And then, like, next week they were like, oh, by the way, that was Esteban in the pig. Yeah. Like, hope you guys enjoyed this little tidbit. That's Esteban.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. Aston Martin, good weekend for them. They got 2 and 6 points. I don't think we talk about Lance Stroll in the rain enough. He is weirdly good in the rain. He was almost on the podium.
He's kind of on like a quiet little tear right now.
Yeah, he's just like laying low. Ever since he's come back from his wrist, he's just laying low. And even before the wrist, like a few races before, he was also doing very well because he was the one scoring all the points and Alonso wasn't.
Yeah. It feels like the roles have almost like reversed at Aston Martin. And I don't want to like call that too early because like it is still like, this is no offense, but it's Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso. So it's like hard to be like, oh, Lance is a point scorer now on the team, but it is, kind of funny that, not funny, it is kind of nice that Lance has kind of been quietly put the team on his back, and going. I think if we would have saw a Lance Stroll podium, that would have been the weirdest moment of my life. That would have been
strange.
Like, no offense to Lance Stroll. Don't think he's that good of a driver. So, like, seeing him on the podium would have been like, fuck? Like...
Yeah, because we weren't watching when he had that other podium or when he...
Right,
before when he won. Yeah. So
we personally have never seen Lance Stroll on the podium.
No. But he was pretty damn close to a podium. And I was like, oh, this is gonna happen. He's on a... It's almost like he's George. He's just like laying low.
Yeah.
Under the radar, collecting.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Having clean races because we do know that he likes to. But there's something about him in wet races. I think he loves a wet race. I'm changing out that. Was that a wet race where he like ran off and then beached himself, or was that not a wet race?
That was a wet race. At that moment, it was wet. And
so I'm just taking that out, but like normally he has pretty damn good races.
Yeah.
What was Alpine in Brazil last year?
Where was what? What?
Was Alpine? Yeah, when Alpine was on the podium last year in Brazil.
Oh,
I wanted to see where he.
Yeah.
That was 18th. He finished 19th, but that was a wet race, so I wanted to check. But yeah, obviously, talked about Red Bull, Ferrari. a shit weekend. I'll be dead honest. It was an awful weekend.
Yeah,
They looked good going
Ferrari.
into major thumbs down. They looked good going into like Friday. I was like, what the hell's happening? Saturday, I was like, this looks amazing.
We look good, yeah.
Even qualifying, they looked pretty damn good. I mean, Charles was top 3.
Yeah.
And then just the race. Well, they got, obviously, like George, they took the gamble, made the call, changed the tires before the race even started. He did work his way back up, and then they changed again. It was not smooth. Lewis, it came out later on that they didn't have GPS for Lewis, like halfway through the race. So they didn't really know where he was.
Oh, I missed that. I did not know
Fred
that.
said this after the race. His GPS was broken, so they didn't know where he was on track.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I am sad to see his streak broken of podiums in Silverstone. There was a moment in time I literally turned to you and said, I'm torn because I want Nico on the podium, but I want Lewis on the podium. And it was I think everyone felt that way. It was a true battle because, yeah, seeing Lewis not on the podium for the first time in Silverstone is rough.
It does suck because it's like you would
after last year.
Yeah, after last year, and then like you would think too, like you take out all the knowledge that we know of Ferrari, and you tell somebody that Lewis Hamilton has a chance to keep the streak going, and he's racing for Ferrari, that you would be like, oh, okay, he's fine, he'll get it, But yeah, Ferrari is. I don't want to like shit on them too much because I feel like we always kind of do, but it sucks to see for Lewis. And I really hope that with this being the halfway point in the season, you kind of have this like semi-break here as well.
Well, I do know, we didn't say this. Aston said they're done bringing upgrades for the rest of the season. They're not bringing any more.
Because they're focusing on next year's car.
Next year, yeah, which is smart when you have Adrian Newey. Might as well put all your mind into that. Ferrari, they're testing this week, I think, or next week, another new upgrade. Charles and Antonio Giovinazzi are going to be in the car testing the new upgrade. So they do have more stuff coming, I think, for Spa or probably right before the summer break. But yeah, it's just them in the wet. As soon as I was like, when they said it was gonna rain Sunday, I was like, okay, he's not getting the podium. They're just not good in wet races. And Lewis said something during the race, I think, or before, being like, I just have like no grip or something. Whatever he said, I literally posted. I said, "Welcome to a wet race in a Ferrari, Lewis." Like, it sucks.
It's bad.
It's bad. It is truly bad. Silverstone and Ferrari just do not get along. I mean, last year was a mess. You have the controversy when Carlos won. It's just never a good race for Ferrari. Can we end with Nico?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're ending with Nico. Oh my god. McLaren is.
I have one question for you.
Okay. I don't really have much to say. So what's your question?
Do you think with Oscar and the penalty, was 10 seconds too harsh? Should he have been given 5? At least 5. Considering, I know it was 2 totally different things. He braked a lot harder than George did in Canada. There's a video of Nico's onboard, and because Nico said, oh no, it affected everyone all the way back. Nico literally comes this close to being retired from a race. Like, he was that close. So, but obviously George didn't get a penalty in Canada for almost the same thing. Yes, Oscar hit a little bit harder, but was 10 seconds too much?
You know what? I hate to say this. See, I'm really torn because in my mind, I've always said this goes about anything with sports. I don't care if the calls are bad. I don't care if the calls are good, as long as they're consistent. That is my biggest thing. Same thing with baseball. If the ump is missing to the left every five balls, and it's clearly a ball and he's calling it a strike, but you're doing that consistently, okay, fine. The batters can adapt and they can adjust to that.
Yeah.
So the issue that I have is really with the FIA. I do think Oscar deserved a penalty because if you look at it from Max's front view onboard and Oscar's rear view onboard,
it was bad.
It's bad. I mean, he slams on the brakes. And then
and then you watch it from Nico's as well. That could have been literally a 20-car pileup.
Right. So it's bad. Oscar is not without guilt here.
No, and I think he knows that.
But I would love to know, it's kind of the same thing if the FIA, we feel like we talked about this before, the FIA was a little bit more communicative, and they said, hey, George got a 5-second penalty because of this, and this reason, and this reason, and this reason. Oscar got a 10-second penalty because of this reason, this reason, this reason, and this reason, and laid it all out for us. I think that would do a lot to silence the back and forth online about it. Now, the FIA is not concerned with, people's social media takes. They're not thinking about that. However, I think it would do a lot for us fans to understand the penalty, help Oscar understand the penalty as well. So I think that's where that's where my anger comes from with it.
No, I think that's where a lot of people's anger is coming from. I do agree. I wish they could go into more detail. It's almost like when we see those videos like James Val posts after an awful weekend for Williams where he explains where everything went wrong. Mercedes even does the same thing. Like, why can't they film a video Monday or Tuesday and post and just be like, this was our reasoning why?
This is the decision making behind the 10-second penalty.
It's also just helping teach fans about the sport, like why it's teaching them more, it's making it more knowledgeable.
You would help teach fans, you'd help teach your drivers, and you'd help teach future generations of drivers to be like, oh, okay, I see that, I shouldn't do that. I think some penalty was deserved, but I would love to see the margin of difference between George's penalty and the reasoning behind George's penalty and the reasoning behind Oscar's penalty for it.
Doesn't also help that everyone always says the FIA has British bias. So
you're playing into that narrative too, especially considering Lando Norris then goes on to win the race, pretty much because of the penalty. I
think if there was no penalty, because we've seen how good Oscar's been on safety car restarts. I don't think we would have seen.
Even on that restart, he was great. That restart, he was awesome. He pulled away in an instant.
Yeah, we would have seen. Now, do I think if the race was if there was more laps in this race, would he have maybe caught Lando? Maybe. But Lando, once he got that clean air, Lando was like, I'm not turning back. This is my race to win.
Yeah, I think the whole Lando win thing it was definitely gifted to him, which is fine. It happens in this.
I don't want to say gifted. Maybe it was a consequence of his teammates' penalty.
I agree with you though with what you're saying. If there was a little bit more laps, Oscar probably could have caught him. However, I think McLaren would have then seen their chance to give their quote unquote star driver the win that he's been asking for his entire career in this sport.
Where he literally said he would have given up every other trophy.
Yeah. And still secure the 1-2. That in McLaren's head as a business is a win-win-win situation. It's not even. But then
I can see if they did that and gave, that would have been gifting Lando.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
The win, that would have been truly gifting. The social media is already bad enough after this race. It would have been even worse.
It would have been terrible. It would have been so much
bad.
Discourse online and everything about it. Yeah. But yes, I can 100% see. I'm saying McLaren's mindset just as a general thought process about all of the upper management at McLaren, but I could see that moment coming in of hey, Lando has been doing this he's been trying to win this race for the longest time, and he's having a good season. Oscar's having a good season, sure, but this is Lando's home race. Let's give it to him. Yeah,
Mark Webber would have marched on over there.
Oh my God, yeah.
We're leaving.
they would have had hell to pay for Mark Webber, but unless Oscar left, they don't care. McLaren doesn't care. That would be
they're getting the same amount of points.
Right. That would have been the real consequence that they would have only cared about is Oscar. Oscar was fuck this, I'm out. See you guys later. Because at the end of the day, okay, Mark Webber yells at you a little bit. Okay, you still have Lando wins the race. You still finish 1-2. You extend your lead in the Constructors' Championship. You
Yeah.
make the battle in the Drivers' Championship a little bit tighter between your two drivers. Like, it's a constant win for McLaren. So the only way that they would have been like, fuck, we shouldn't have done that, is if Oscar was like, all right, screw you guys, I'm out.
Yep.
You know?
Well, did you see how Lando got hurt afterwards? He was trying to climb the fence to, like, say hello to the fans on track. So Frey posted, he gets hurt before his first win. He gets hurt after his home win. I said, the circle's complete. I was like, you can't use that thing anymore. If he gets hurt, he's automatically going to win. The circle is complete. It's over. But no, I mean, it's always so much fun seeing a driver win their home race. And being from England and having Silverstone as your home race is just as iconic as Monaco being your home race. So, getting that win was amazing. I do love how his mom called him right out, being like, "I know you're crying. Let me see your eyes."
Yeah, let me open it up. Open that visor up.
She's like, "Let me see your visor," which I love that Zach Brown does that. He will bring, like, he did it for Oscar. He let Lily come over, like, around the fence to give Oscar, like, a legit hug. He now just did it to Lando's mom, like, coming around the corner to, like, give her, instead of hugging over a fence with 25 other people around. Like, it just, I do love how Zach Brown continues to do that for the drivers. But, yeah, great weekend for McLaren. I think I saw someone say that they could win it by Monza.
Okay. I'm in.
I think they can win the Constructors by Monza at the rate they're going.
I'm down. I love it. What is that, round 15, 16?
Yeah, because it's pretty soon after round 16, September 7th.
Yeah. That's crazy if they could win it then.
Yeah, right? 16? There's still
Holy shit.
To go. I swear I saw.
When did Red Bull win it in 2023?
Pretty early.
That early?
No, didn't they win it in Coda?
Could McLaren beat, like, that record? Could this be the earliest we see a Constructors Champs? What's the record?
Oh, no. So this is when the schedule is different. So he won it September 24th, but it was Japan. That's when they won the Constructors.
Okay. All right.
So September 24th. So
when's Monza? What dates are Monza?
7th. September 7th.
So if they win it at Monza, that's the. Whoo!
Yeah, well, what round was that, though? That's why I want to know what round was that. But yes. Now to the greatest story.
The real highlight of the weekend.
I'm sorry, Lando, but I think there was not one person who was upset about Nico Hülkenberg getting on the podium. There was not one person upset.
Absolutely
ever.
not. Hold on. I'm making this disclaimer right now. If you do not like seeing Nico Hülkenberg on the podium, especially in a fucking steak, leave. Get out of here. I'm all for this sport, welcoming everybody in. I want more fans and everything. But if you hate that, we hate you. Get out.
Literally, like, that is the perfect sports story. That is an underdog story to a T. That is what movies are made of. If they want to do another F1 movie,
make it happen.
Be based on Nico Hülkenberg's life. Okay? It was
Apple just had the script written for themselves.
Yeah.
Man.
Truly, literally perfectly written for them. 239 race starts for Nico Hülkenberg, and he finally did it. Now, I'm going to listen to this TikTok I found before we started. I'm going to send it to you. It's the best TikTok ever.
I want to see it.
It's like a fan edit but there's a quote at the beginning. It's from Drive to Survive.
I'm so, like, thrilled for Nico Hülkenberg, and it's like we don't know him on a personal level. He doesn't know that we exist. So it's like, but the elation and joy that I'm feeling for this man is, like, incredible. Like,
no, it's just everything about it. It was, I mean, he drove a damn good race. It wasn't like he was gifted P3. A damn good race. That overtake he made at the end to get P3, would he overtake Lance Stroll? So damn good. I was so like, good. Okay, this is his.
And he made the call to stay out when they wanted him to come in. So it's like,
he was like, no.
He won this race. You know, I said it before. There are the race wins that are like the stars align, everything goes right for you and everything goes wrong for everybody else. This was not that. Nico Hulkenberg won this race for himself.
Yeah. No, it was such a good. The TikTok edit is a clip of Driver Survival, Will Buxton saying that Nico Hulkenberg is the champion in waiting. Basically being like and I think like Max has said that, I think others have said this, a lot of quotes have been coming out that like Nico deserved better cars. But when he came up, he was coming up the same time as Jensen and Lewis and all these Sebastian, all these people that were legit.
These legends.
Yeah, he came up at a time where this grid was stacked. But someone posted, put him in a McLaren, a Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, he would be a terror.
Oh, I would love to see it. Make it happen, please.
His race knowledge has to be. I mean, like you said, he made the call, being like, "No, I'm staying out.
I'm staying out." Yeah, his radio as they come in, they're like, "Hey, box," and he's like, "No, that's a bad idea. I'm staying out." Like, it is. I need to know: is this his last season? Do we think?
I don't know. He's going to Audi.
Oh fuck, that's right. He is going to Audi. That is right. Audi, please make a good car for Nico Hulkenberg.
Yeah,
please.
Can you imagine a season of? I liked how immediately when he got on the podium, people were like, "Stake dominance could bore people."
Oh, yeah, stake dominance. Come on.
No, but it's just like seeing the win. You knew what it meant to him, like crossing the line, and then like the video his wife posted of his daughter freaking out in front of the TV, and then they posted today. They like had a party for him when he got home, and like all the people. I do love that everyone's like. That his daughter's gonna have a sibling in 9 months. It's gonna be
100%.
It's gonna be when K-Mag got pole in Brazil, and then 9 months later he had a new daughter. Yeah, no, it's just, and the fact that K-Mag was in the stake garage.
It's so good. It's so good.
Because K-Mag and Nico Hulkenberg are the true enemies to lovers. I mean, there's that thing where he like says like "suck my balls" or something to K-Mag in a post-race interview.
Yeah, like a media thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just perfection. But also him and Gabby Bortoleto, there's something special there, and it's literally, I don't know if it's like older brother, little brother, or like a father-son thing. It's just
gotta be. It is purely a mentor-mentee relationship, and it is
it's perfect.
Oh, it's so good. And you know what would make it even better is if like Gabby comes in like next race and like
in spot,
Oh my god, that would make it
because like
better.
I didn't even realize it until I saw the picture on social media, but when we're following Lando get out of his car, and you see the blur of black and green blur run by, and I'm like, people are like, "No, that's Gabby Bortoleto running to the car." Him.
Yeah.
And then they let him come over the radio afterwards, and then there's the video that comes out and makes it look like Gabby Bortoleto was the one that called Nico's wife on FaceTime and gives Nico the phone. Like, I don't know if you saw a video. They're like celebrating in the hospitality afterwards, cool. And you see Gabby with a phone, and he like yells for Nico. Nico comes over, and it's his wife and daughter on FaceTime. But like, I don't know if it's Gabby's phone or like his trainer's phone or whatever that Gabby could just
somebody was like, him.
But yeah, no, seeing that, and then you had like Mercedes and other teams giving them champagne because they didn't bring champagne to celebrate. They weren't prepared.
Did you see the thing, the stake admin posted a thing saying like, "Hey, I have like 45 minutes of downtime. Ask me any questions you want." Somebody asked them, "Is it true that you didn't have champagne and Mercedes and everybody sent over champagne?" They were like, "We did have some, but not enough." And then they were like, I think they said Mercedes and Williams sent over some to us. Like,
well, there's the video of the Mercedes girl walking in, and I think she wrote in like German or something all in the bag, like, "Congrats from your like Mercedes family." But then I didn't hear about Williams, but like that's just how you know the whole paddock was in love with that podium.
That's the thing. Again, if you do not like this moment, you need to get out. It is like that is F1 right there. Like that is what F1 is supposed to be right there. It is these guys working their ass off, going through these hard times, it being the most tenacious of people you've ever met in your life, and then all in that one moment, it pays off.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and then like you had the details that have come out. Like F1 posted like a highlight reel of Nico, 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Like,
that's come on.
Like so damn good. Yeah, no, I posted something to the steak album when they posted that, and I said, have you slept yet? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's such a damn good win.
It's such a feel-good story, and it's like,
yeah.
How can you, again, it's
if
like
Drive to Survive does not include that this season, I am never watching Drive to Survive.
God.
If they do not include that, after last year they just didn't include them at all, which rightfully so. Last year you don't include them. They had no points, but like, hello.
You have to.
Where are they at in the standings now? Because I think they have to be close to.
That's 16 points of them, right? I think. Because I think it's 25-18. No, it might be 18 points because I think it's 25-20-18.
They're at 41 in 6th place. Williams is in 5th at 59. Is State going to go from the worst to the best of the rest?
Oh, I'm rooting for State for the rest of the season, man.
Oh, they're just so easy to cheer for. I do love the one post that said, the only downside of this is Mattia Bonato's happy.
Yes. Yes, that is like the one, like...
I can't take it, but like, I don't really give him the credit. Like, Jonathan Wheatley looks so damn excited. There's just like...
seeing Jonathan Wheatley when Nico goes back to the hospitality.
Yeah.
And he, like, the doors slide open and there's Jonathan Wheatley right there. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, come on. Give him a hug.
It's just such a good... And you had, like, Max literally... That was Max's post-race Instagram post. Like, it was like, we'll get them. Like, we'll come back stronger. All about Nico. But you had Max right away celebrate. You had literally every driver. I think they told Lando over the radio, and he was like, oh, shit, that's, like, amazing that you got P3.
Pierre's and Albon's radios. They said, so Pierre finishes, and they're like, hey, great race. That was P6. Like, top 3 were Lando, Oscar, Nico. And he's like, Nico? And he's like, no fucking way. Like, that's great. And then Alex is like the same thing, kind of, where they're like, hey, like, Alex knows beforehand because he's like, did Nico finish 3rd? And they were like, yes. And then he goes, that's awesome. He's a legend. I love, like, that's so cool to hear, you know. That is such a good moment.
It's such a good, it's such a good heartfelt sports moment. Like, it was so perfect. But like you said, like, both IndyCar and F1 had such good people win the race or be on the podium that, like, deserve to be on there. But I did this is getting long, but did you see, I did read this to you, Oscar's question to Nico in the post-race interview. Because there's been a lot of discourse. People were like, it was rude. It was like condescending coming from Oscar. I don't think it was. I generally think Oscar's like, how do you feel that you've been working this hard and your first trophy is made out of Legos? Not being like, this is awful, but like, you deserve something better than a Lego trophy.
Real trophy, yes.
Yeah.
Nico, I will say that. Nico Hulkenberg absolutely deserves the biggest trophy for that 3rd place. I don't care what it's made out of. Make it out of fucking diamond for all I care. He deserves a trophy for that. And I'm sure, I would hope he would get something. I don't know, but he would get something.
No, I heard they don't, because like Lando doesn't even keep the big trophy. That stays at Silverstone forever.
That sucks. So, yes. But that's one of those things that it's just like those stories where it's like you look at it, you want something to go a certain way your entire life. And then when it happens, it doesn't go the way that you want it to. You have to find the happiness and the peace with that, like, in there. But, like, no, it is not a condescending question from Oscar. It's a genuine question because I'm sure there was a bit of Nico in his mind that was like, all right, I got a fucking...
No, because you can literally see when Nico looks at the trophy, he's like...
Yeah.
Like, fix it up. Yeah, no. I didn't think it was condescending or rude coming from Oscar at all. I thought it was a genuine, like, this man deserves a better trophy.
And he's poking fun at it. Like, it's all in good humor of, like...
If Nico didn't like the question, he didn't have to answer. But, like, Nico, like, laughed it off and was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, my daughter will play with it or whatever.
Yeah,
like, the
my daughter will love it.
To give.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not a condescending question. It was not meant to be a jab at Nico. Like, those drivers, like, as much as they have a rivalry, you see it. You saw it when Lando won his first race. You see it now with Nico. Like, those drivers do care and respect for each other. So it's like,
yes,
there's that playful jab of, like, dude, I know how long you've been working for this,
Yeah,
and you're gonna
you
end up with
deserve
a
a
Lego
little
trophy.
better.
Like that's fucking like that is on a purely logical standpoint. That's fucking hilarious. Like that you got a Lego trophy. That not a condescending question from Oscar at all.
Now, do I wish if they sprayed him a little bit more? Yeah, I do.
Yes, absolutely. I think he deserved to be drenched like it was his first win, but neither here nor there.
I know. Yeah, we weren't. That's fine. That's all I have to add for the race.
I'm just going to be thinking about this Nico podium for the rest of my life. When I need something to motivate me, that's what I'm gonna think.
Well, that's good motivation. It's like, but yes. Before we give predictions, I do want to say this weekend is Berlin Formula E, but there's the rookie test coming up for Formula E this week, and the rookie tests are stacked. There's a lot of girls from F1 Academy. I think Abby Pulling's racing, but you also have Arthur Leclerc, who's going to be in one of the cars. So I don't know if last year they did not televise it. I don't know if they will this year, but there's so many big names. I would not be surprised if they did. But then Formula E season's almost over. It's over on your birthday, so.
Oh wow! Yeah, very close to being done.
In London, but yes, Iowa Speedway doubleheader this weekend. IndyCar, there's a race Saturday. There's a race Sunday. They're both 275 laps. It's an oval. Times are going to be quick. It literally says with laps under 18 seconds. So
it's fucking flying.
It's literally just like they're just going. We will give 2 sets of predictions. So we'll do Saturday first. Saturday for I don't even know how you say the race name. They both have different names.
Okay. Saturday. Can I do P1 only?
Yeah, that's fine. We can do P1 only for both. That way it's easier.
Both P1. Can I do them right now? Both Saturday and Sunday? I think I'm going to take the safe pick Saturday, and I'm going to go Alex Palou.
Okay.
I'm going to take the safe pick. We know why. Whatever, right? I think Christian Lundgaard on Sunday.
Oh!
Because I think Christian Lundgaard is very smart. Like I said, he bounced back this past weekend. He bounced back on the podium. He's feeling good. And then he has a chance to figure out what works. Now, everybody else has this chance, too. I'll give him that. But he has a chance to figure out what works and what doesn't work on Saturday and then make the changes for Sunday. And I think that's going to be a great spot for him to then win the race on Sunday.
Okay. I like it. I'm going to do Saturday. I'm going to go with David Malukas. He's been so close to the top for the ovals, like Indy 500. He's very close. So I'm going to go David Malukas.
Okay.
That's an oval. P1 Saturday. Sunday, I think the luck is turning around. He won here last year. I'm going to go Scott McLaughlin P1 Sunday.
Oh, okay. I like that pick. Mm-hmm.
He won first last year, and then Will Power won the second race last year. So, Malukas Saturday, Scott McLaughlin Sunday.
Very nice.
Those are my picks.
I like it.
Those are my picks. I didn't even look at the time to tell you what time they're on. I
was gonna say I have no idea what time they're on.
1 p.m. on Sunday and 5 p.m. on Saturday. They qualify in the morning and then qualify at noon on Saturday, and then they race at 5 o'clock at night.
Nice.
So good weekend of motorsports. But yes. Do you have anything else you would like to add?
Nope. Just that this was a longer one. Again, sorry about that. We will not be recording next weekend.
Next week, yeah.
Or next week. Like I said, it is Casey's birthday, so we will be taking a short break, and it also kind of lines up with no F1 stuff like that. So.
Yes, it does. Oh, it's also Festival of Speed this weekend.
Goodwood, yeah.
Goodwood. But yes. So we will be back next week. I was trying to look. I literally asked people to give me one word to describe Silverstone, and there were some good ones. A lot of people were just like Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
Fluoro Dream. Someone put Cinema, Magnificent, Wet, Nico, Insane, The Hulk, Chaos.
Yeah.
Steak. Yeah, it was. There are a lot of people gave me some good ones. But yes, we will not be back next week. We'll be back the following week. We'll figure out something. IndyCar is literally every weekend, so we'll have an IndyCar race to recap that next in 2 weeks. But as always, please go give us a follow over on Instagram and Threads at Underground Circuit _, on Twitter at UG Circuit Pod, and TikTok at Underground_Circuit. We have a fun thing coming up that we're going to be announcing soon, so please go give us a follow on all of our socials so you don't miss that announcement. As always, wherever you listen to your podcast, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all in 2 weeks, people.
Have a nice weekend. Later. Yeah, enjoy your weekend.
It's Tuesday.
Well, enjoy your weekends.
Bye, people.